Hey everybody, it's Mimi again. In the last video, we discussed the 5 lines of the staff, why there are 5 lines, 5 fingers, and we discussed the treble clef and the lines and spaces associated with the treble clef, also known as the G clef. Today we're going to move on to the bass clef, okay? If you are a vocal student or a violin student of mine, you may be asking yourself, why do I need to know bass clef? Well, there are a couple of very important reasons. If you're a singer and if you're female, you're very seldom going to be singing anything that is marked with a bass clef. But occasionally, there just aren't enough men to go around. Yeah. And so we end up singing notes that are written in bass clef, but obviously in our own tessitura, in our own range. So that being said, as far as violin goes, the same thing goes for violin. And as far as just being a musician that works with an accompanist, aka piano player, it helps to know what the accompaniment is doing. Pianists play both the treble clef, usually with their right hand, and bass clef, usually with their left hand. So it helps to know what's going on in the music around you. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let's move on to the bass clef. So I've got our 5 lines of the staff right up here, and this is what a bass clef looks like, okay? So dot right there, then a dot on either side of this line, okay? And this bass clef, okay? It's spelled like the fish, okay? Bass, okay? Not like the pro shop, but it is spelled B-A-S-S, okay? This is also known as the F clef. If you recall, when we talked about the treble clef, the G clef, just a little bit ago, then you also know that the G clef will help you find the G line on the staff if you know how to look for it. The F clef is actually based also on an old school F. These 2 dots used to actually be connected, kind of like that, okay? I know it doesn't really look like an F anymore, but this is what it's turned into. So, we look at this, then might be easy to figure out exactly where the F is located on the staff when we're looking at bass clef or F clef. You'll notice there's a dot right over here on this line, and there's a dot on either side of that line. So if you've guessed that this line is where F lives, then you would be absolutely correct. So there you go. So I like to think that the humans live up top in the treble clef because they're up there eating burgers and fries and stuffing their face. And the animals live in the bass clef. All right, we've already covered the fish, bass, 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 bass. Okay, just stick with me here. We are actually going to start with the spaces. Cows are usually what burgers are made up of. And we cows, well, a lot of us do. I don't, but a lot of us do. But what do cows eat? If you guessed grass, then yay, you paid attention in like 1st grade biology. So, all cows eat grass, right? And again, just like from before, this is going from the bottom of the staff to the upper part of the staff, okay? So, 4 words, 4 spaces. All cows eat grass. A, C, E, G. And they fit in like this. A, C, E, and G. Okay. Everybody with me so far? I know I can't hear your answer, but I hope that you're following me. All right, so now we've got our second animal down. So far we've got a fish and we got a cow. Now, the next one is an animal that we don't eat, but that could probably eat us if it really wanted to. We're going to examine the thought of a grizzly bear. Okay, so grizzly bears don't fear anything. Okay. 5 words, 5 lines. Again, this is happening from the bottom of the staff to the top of the staff. G, B, D, F, which we've already found, and A. So, G, B, D, F, and A. Okay? So, once again, if you sing the musical alphabet to yourself in your head, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, over and over and over and over again, then you'll know that this follows the same pattern of line, space, line, space, line, space, with the notes being next to each other. So after G in the musical alphabet comes A, which is the next space up. After A comes B, which is the next line, so on and so forth, with C being a space, D being a line, E being a space, F being a line, G being a space, and A being a line. So there you go. That's the rundown for the bass clef. Okay, grizzly bears don't fear anything. All cows eat grass, and it's bass clef, spelled bass like the fish. And also remember that grizzly bears and cows, at least last time I checked, they're really, really heavy. So they're going to sink, and they make really low sounds. This is the lower end of your staff, okay? Next time we will look at the grand staff and figure out what goes in between the treble clef and the bass clef. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me, text me, message me, think at me real hard. I'll be happy to help you out in any way I can. Enjoy your apocalypse, and talk to you soon.